I never thought I'd walk into a Dollar Tree at night. It wasn't a plan, not a video idea, and not a challenge. We were just looking for an open spot. It was about 11:47 p.m., almost midnight. The rain was thin and sticky, and the street looked empty, as if the city had already closed. All the signs were dark, except for one. Bright green, too bright for this time of night. The light inside didn't just burn, it pressed down. Like an operating room, like a place where something is being cut open. We walked in as a group of three. Me, Mark, and Jason. The doors slid open automatically, but with a delay, as if the system was hesitating to let us in. The bell didn't ring. That was the first strange sign. Inside, it smelled like cheap plastic, sweet chemicals, and something else. Something wet, old, like a basement. The store was almost empty. No music, no announcements, only the steady, monotonous hum of the lamps. I noticed the rule almost immediately, though no one said it out loud. If Dollar Tree is empty at night, you must leave. We didn't. The staff were standing behind the register. Two of them. They weren't talking to each other, and they weren't looking at their phones. They were just standing there. One man, about 40, too thin for his uniform. The second was a woman with hair styled so perfectly it looked new. But her eyes were empty, like switched-off screens. We walked down the aisles, and that's when the first real rule appeared. Rule number 1. Never take an item if it looks older than it should be. I picked up a flashlight, but the packaging was yellow and brittle, as if it had sat in the sun for 10 years. I squeezed it in my hand. The plastic was warm, not from the lights, warm like skin. I put it back, and I noticed the shelf sagged slightly, as if it took a breath. Jason was laughing. He always laughed in uncomfortable places. He took a pack of disposable plates and said they looked vintage. I didn't laugh, because I heard a sound, somewhere far away in the back of the store, a slow creak of a cart. But there were no carts there. Rule number 2. If you hear movement but don't see the source, do not go to check. We broke it almost immediately. Mark went forward, between the rows of toys and chemicals. I wanted to stop him, but the words got stuck in my throat. The air became thicker. The lamps began to flicker slightly, as if they were getting tired. Rule number 3. Never look a Dollar Tree employee in the eyes for more than 3 seconds. All the dolls were turned to face the aisle. Every single one. Even the ones that should have been looking sideways. Their eyes reflected the light too well. And when I took a step forward, I thought one of them blinked. I broke it. When we returned to the register, the woman looked up. I felt something inside me tighten. In her pupils, there was no reflection at all, as if the light couldn't get in there. She smiled, slowly, not with her lips, with her whole face. The skin stretched, but there was no emotion. "Did you find everything you were looking for?" she asked. Her voice was flat, but too clear. No breath, no pauses. I nodded. Mark said something, I don't remember what. At that moment, I noticed there were no clocks behind the counter. None at all. Not on the wall, not on the terminal. And our phones, they lost their signal. Rule number 4. If time disappears, you've already stayed too long. We decided to leave, and then I realized the doors were no longer opening automatically. We approached. Nothing. I pressed against the glass. Cold. Too cold. The bell was still silent. Behind our backs, a sound broke the silence. A mop. Someone was slowly washing the floor. I turned around. It was Jason, or what looked like him, in a Dollar Tree uniform. His clothes were gone. His face was smooth. No eyes, no mouth. Just an outline. As if he had been erased. He moved mechanically, not looking at us, smearing dirty water across the floor. I wanted to scream. I couldn't. Rule number 5. If you see a friend in uniform, he is no longer your friend. Mark ran to the exit. He pounded on the door with his fist. The glass didn't flinch. The light began to dim, but not go out. The lamps seemed to recede deep into the ceiling. The store grew longer. The aisles stretched out. The shelves seemed higher. A second employee stepped out from around the corner. The man from the register. He was carrying a box. Written on it in marker was "New Staff." He placed it next to Mark and opened it. Inside was a uniform, just like Jason's. Mark began to cry. I heard him repeating my name. Then the woman from the register approached him, gently, almost tenderly. She draped the shirt over his shoulders. He stopped resisting too quickly. As if he was tired, as if he had given up. I was left alone. And then I understood the last rule. No one says it out loud. The last rule. Dollar Tree never lets everyone go. One must stay behind to tell the story. I'm sitting at a table in the hall right now. The camera is on. The lights are still burning. Behind my back, they are working. Slowly. without words. If we hadn't walked in there at night, they would be free. If I had left earlier, I wouldn't have known these rules. But now you know them too. And if you ever see a Dollar Tree that is open after midnight, do not enter. Because cheap things are not the scariest thing they sell.